These are the players in our storyline. The information concerns the creation of our sun, our earth, and man. This is the revelation of how our whole solar system was created by super beings that watch over us every day. Let's start with the fire god and see where it takes us. The celestial man. The mind, God, being male and female, beginning as life and light, gave birth, by the word, to another mind, the creator of the world. He being the god of fire and air, formed 7 powers who encompass in their circles the sensory world, and the governance of these powers is called destiny. Immediately, the word of God leapt forth from the downward moving elements to the pure work of the Creator, and was united with the Creator mind, and the downward moving elements of the creation were left behind, without the word, to be matter alone. The mind, the Creator, together with the word, encompassing the spheres and spinning them round with a rushing motion, caused those things he had made to revolve, and he allowed them to revolve from no fixed beginning to an end without limit, for it begins where it ends. The rotation of these spheres, as the mind willed, brought forth from the downward moving elements living beings without speech, and the air produced winged creatures and the water swimming creatures. The earth and the water were separated from each other, as the mind willed, and the earth brought forth from herself what she possesses, 4-footed animals, reptiles, beasts, wild and tame. The mind, the Father of all, who is life and light, brought forth a celestial man, the same as himself, whom he loved as his own child, for this man was very beautiful, bearing the image of his Father. It was really his own form that God loved, and he handed over to him all his creation. When the celestial man had observed in the Father the creation of the Creator, he himself wished to create, and he was given permission to do so by the Father. Being begotten in the sphere of the Creator, he observed carefully the creations of his brother, from which he obtained every power. The Father and the brother loved him, and each gave him of their own authority. Having acquired knowledge of their essence and partaking in their nature, he wished to break through the circumference of the spheres and to come to know the power of him who was set in authority over the fire. Having all power over the world of mortals and living creatures without speech, he looked down through the harmony of the cosmos and, having broken through the sovereignty of the divine power, he showed to a downward moving nature the beautiful form of God. When she had seen the beauty which never satiates of him who had in himself all the energy of the powers and the form of God, she smiled with love, because she had seen the image of the most beautiful form of the celestial man in the water and his shadow upon the earth. He, seeing in himself a similar form to his own in the water, fell in love with her and wished to dwell there. No sooner wished than done, and he inhabited a form without speech. Nature, having taken her beloved, enfolded him completely, and they united, for they loved each other. For this reason, of all living beings on earth, man alone is double, mortal because of the body, immortal because of the real celestial man. For, although being immortal and having authority over all, he suffers mortal things which are subject to destiny. Then, although above the harmony of the cosmos, he has become a slave within it. He is beyond gender as he has been born from a father beyond gender, and he never sleeps as he is ruled by one who never sleeps. And what after that, my mind? For I love the conversation. Poimandres said, this is the mystery which has been kept secret until this day. For nature, united with the celestial man, has brought forth a wonder of wonders. The celestial man, as I told you, was of the Father and of Spirit and had the nature of the harmony of the seven spheres. So nature did not wait, but immediately brought forth 7 men corresponding to the natures of the 7 powers, beyond gender, and sublime. This is the teaching of the ancient Atlanteans that came to our earth a very long time ago. They came here because they seen man walking on earth. So let's ask, what is their planet called? Well, think, who were the participants in our creation story? Okay, first off, is God Himself that created our star and sent it out by His mighty spirit force. That spirit force is the one doing all kinds of creation in our revelation. The first creature that shows up in the realm of where our solar system is created is the fire god, the sun. His name you will find out is called Apsu. So Apsu has the spirit force as a backup so he can create planets and moons. So he goes to work with the spirit force as a power source and he creates a planet the Atlanteans called Tiamat. It's Tiamat that plays the role as the wife of Apsu and together they create planets and other matters you find in our system. What's funny is our Tiamat is a planet covered with water and no land was showing. That's right, she was a water world and that's the way she was created by our fire god. So did you notice there is a player named Celestial Man? Did our sun make Celestial Man? That answer is no. Remember this, the mind, the Father of all, who is life and light, brought forth a celestial man, the same as himself, whom he loved as his own child, for this man was very beautiful, bearing the image of his father. So let's get the point right, our star made our Tiamat who is our earth, and God himself makes something called celestial man. Is that right? Yes, that's what our text tells us. Now get this right, because the celestial man God made, he loves. See, the same as himself, whom he loved as his own child, for this man was very beautiful, bearing the image of his father. Wow, is it another fire god? That answer is no. Everything God creates becomes a tool to accomplish His will, and the celestial man was a mighty tool that He made just for you. Now how could that be possible? Let's check out a bit of the Babylon creation story. Look at the Enuma Elish, that means when on high. Directly from the pages of the Enuma it says this, the Babylonian creation story of our solar system in symbols. The universe mentioned here is what becomes our solar system, keep this in mind please. The Enuma Elish. In the beginning the whole universe was a sea. Heaven on high had not been named, nor the earth beneath, Their begetter was Apsu, the father of the primordial deep, and their mother was Tiamat, the spirit of chaos. No plain was yet formed, no marsh could be seen, the gods had no existence, nor had their fates been determined. Then there was a movement in the waters, and the gods issued forth. Tiamat was the spirit of chaos because the other planets were created between Apsu, the fire god, and Tiamat, and that's why she became the mother of all the planets. But what the celestial man does, is bring order in the newly created star system when he mounted the back of our Tiamat and pushed up mountains from her waters, and when he was finished with her, he flung her, and that caused our earth to go into an orbit around her husband Apsu. And that's why the Babylonians celebrated the Akatuk festival every year on the spring equinox. That was the start of their new year. Now I read 21 copies of the Enuma Elish, and some of the translators do not understand what they translated. They didn't know it was our real creation story. The copy I use, that explains what happened in our creation, is the best rendering I could find. Now I will close at this point, but remember this, the last pictures I put up shows the celestial man coming in between Apsu and Tiamat. No, it will never crash with Tiamat, but will always sync our star system to bring our star and his planets into the glory of our Father, the one and only.